So I came across this video of this doctor who is a pastor too, and this is the second time I'm coming across his video, and the things he was saying actually made sense to me. And in this one, you're going to hear how false prophets, false teachers, false pastors manipulate, their members. And I think I should let you listen to him first. Let me allow you to listen to him first. Howbeit, there are some of the things, at least in one place or two places, where I don't so much agree with what he said there. Not because what he said is wrong completely, but because if we don't expatiate on it, we look like those who are doing the things he brushed there are entirely wrong.
You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. There's been so much controversy and expose in the internet concerning spiritual leaders and religious organizations, particularly amongst us Pentecostals. How do you know that you are being manipulated by a spiritual leader? In fact, the greatest desire of man is to control man. Instead of controlling the environment, is to control man, is to replace God in the lives of people and to play the role of God in the lives of people. One of the things that will attract you to your own control, the Bible says that if care is not taken, even the elect will be deceived. Number one is stories of extraordinary happenings in the life of that person, so-called man of God. Extraordinary happenings. The next thing is successes. You will see buildings, structures, and all kinds. And if your mind is not discerning, when you see the superstructures, in fact, some of the cults, some of the religious cults from the United States of America and all different parts of the world, if you see their buildings in Africa, they are usually very fascinating. God does not live in physical buildings. He lives in the hearts of men. God is not a God of structures. He's to be worshipped in spirit and in truth. So you see some cults, they will tell you about reincarnation. They will tell you all. If you check most of those people, they are very, very wealthy. So if it is prosperity alone and structures and systems and success stories, you will be carried away, you will be deceived, even the elect. The next thing is spirituality. A lot of these individuals would portray an image that they are exceedingly spiritual. Let me tell you the truth. It is by the grace of God that we are who we are. Don't tell me it is because you fasted 100 days, you fasted 40 days, you were in it. Avoid such stories. Any person that is telling you sensational stories, another else. A young man came to our church in those days and said that he lived underwater, and the whole church was carried away with their stupidity until I investigated him and I found out that he was fake. In fact, a big global organization brought him to their fellowship and he told his fantastic stories. He even shaved the pubic hair of women. I've been in this business, in this faith for long. I got born again as a medical doctor. I didn't get born again because I want to make money or even go to heaven. I got born again because I knew I was a sinner and I knew that God loved me and I loved God. Even if there is no heaven, I still love God. Even if I'm a poor man, I still love God. And the truth of our Lord Jesus Christ is the only thing, the simple truth that can set you free. And the day I got born again, I hated sin and the world became more beautiful. One of the things that came into my life was confidence. I didn't need to impress any man. And I saw God do great miracles. On a personal note, you should receive miracles and Work miracles on a personal note. Avoid this superstar mentality. I went to church, I went to a fellowship, and they taught us about healing. And I said, God, do you still heal people? If you still heal people, as I'm driving to the hospital, I was managing a 40-bed hospital. I was 27 years old. I inherited a patient with fecal fistula. He was leaking fecal matter from the site of appendectomy. I said, God, if you still heal people, heal that man. Before I reached that hospital, close the wound. I got to the hospital. The first place I parked in front of the man's ward, came down and removed the plaster. That place was healed. I have seen great miracles that I don't need a superstar around my life. I grew up as a Christian. I experimented and God proved himself to be true, just like as Luke wrote to Theophilus that I have the things I have seen, the things I have handled. So forget any man starts telling you fantastic stories beyond reason. When they start telling you about miracles that are unreasonable, I know you think miracles might not be explained. Jesus stayed in the womb for 9 months, but there was a Kenyan pastor, Pentecostal pastor, that was saying that women were getting pregnant for 3 months and delivering children. He was investigated and it was found that he was trafficking babies. There is no 3-month pregnancy. There is no 3-month pregnancy. So start somebody is telling you are going to receive a miracle alert money. Think. Somebody is telling you they disappeared from one place and appeared in another place. Think. Forget the successes, forget the testimonies, forget the buildings, forget the private jets, forget the philanthropy, even forget the philanthropy. Think. The irony is that only 5% of humanity think for themselves. 1 to 2% generate the original thoughts. The remaining 3% analyze the thoughts of these individuals. Then the remaining 95% dare not think. If they think, they will die. The next thing, if a man of God is encroaching into your fundamental human rights, know that he wants to control you. If they start encroaching into your rights, who to marry, who not to marry, where to do, what to do, what not to do, they start encroaching into your privacy, know that you are under control. You are being manipulated. If they start demanding for your finances in an unreasonable way, and you see that it is only the organization that is growing and you are not growing financially, you are not growing socially, think. Some of the testimonies you hear about those who did this and did that and they had financial breakthrough are planted testimonies, and they are just probabilistic occurrences. I've known people who became bankrupt because of these manipulations to get your finances. The next thing is that if an organization is separating you from your family members, think. If an organization is regimenting your dressing pattern, your speech pattern, think. If an organization is such that you cannot think for yourself and you are always echoing the speeches of your leader, think. If an organization, you belong to an organization, when you want to leave, they start threatening you, think. And when a man of God, in quotes, starts saying that those who left him are not doing well, think you are being manipulated not to leave. I have a WhatsApp mentorship group with close to 1,000 people from all over the world. I always tell them, anytime you want to leave, leave. You join freely, leave freely. When they start threatening you and when they start encroaching on your developmental process, don't go to school, don't do this, don't do that, think. You are being manipulated. You might be surprised that the person's children are going to school. Think. Fringe testimonies, bizarre testimonies, when you start hearing them in church, think. The trick of the devil in these last days is to deceive the elect. The tragedy is that people start running after miraculous. I've seen it. A man of God can start very rightly and deviate. Alexander Dowie, he founded Zion City. outside Chicago. Alexander Dowie was the man who prophesied about radio and television. He said, a time shall come, my image shall be projected and you far away from where I am. My voice will be projected far away from where I am and people will hear me. That was an accurate prophecy. But Alexander Dowie started dressing like an ancient priest in the Old Testament and said that he was the Elijah or Elisha that was to come. Founded Zion City outside Chicago. They will count money, put coins inside bathtubs, arrange dollars in shelves. He died as a cripple on his bed. When you check the sexual life of the man of God you are following, and you see sexual and marital life, think. When you start defending what you don't understand, what you don't know in details, think. You might be manipulated. No person can do me anything. If you like, be angry with me. If you like, call me any name. I started this race a long time ago. I worked with one of the most prominent preachers of the gospel in the whole world. Until today, there's no scandal following him. He's Archbishop Benson Idahosa. He was one of the most liberal individuals. He did not cage us. He did not manipulate us. He gave us liberty. And that's the system I grew up in. And so, when you are in a system, they keep suppressing you. They keep manipulating you. One of the problems we have in Christianity in Nigeria is tribal colonization by leadership of Pentecostal churches. When you see a leader use his tribesmen to suppress other tribes in a system, know that you who is not from that tribe is being manipulated. I can say it categorically, and no person can do me anything. Our people are being manipulated. You are being manipulated. Especially when after listening to this tape, you are angry with me without common sense. Know that you are being manipulated. If you like, I still remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Send me a message on WhatsApp, +234 7052 136763. Follow me on Facebook at Dr. Charles Apoki and subscribe to this channel, Dr. Charles Apoki. God bless you. I have properties for sale. God bless you. Let me tell you one secret. Most of your spiritual and religious leaders in Pentecostalism, even the Orthodox churches, the businesses they do to get money, they don't let you know. I know what I'm talking about. They do a lot of businesses to get money. They don't let you know. But they can waste your life and waste your time. You think you are serving God, but your mind is being colonized. God bless you!
Listen, you are welcome back, and I will be brief. Everything that this man said is true. Listen, if you are in a church, you're in a church where you don't have the liberty to ask your pastor a question, you are not allowed to question your pastor's decision. Everything that he does, you are told to take it like that. Whether it is good or bad, you are not supposed to ask question. My friend, it is a red flag. It might not be a cult, but that is how cults are being run. Now, if you are in a place where humanity is not considered most, where attention is not paid to the well-being of humans, but mostly the well-being of the pastor, his family, and the other leaders in the church, and members are subjected to the crumbs. Now, Apostle James, was it Jude, that condemned it and said, the faith, we are not supposed to run the race and having the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ with respect of persons. Because our God is not respecter of anybody. That does not translate to mean that respect is no longer due for whom it is. Let us balance it. Now, see, a lot of the things he mentioned there are true. But I want to tell you that I also sincerely think that it is not everybody who comes up to tell their story, how they started, and the things that God took them through. It is not all of them that are doing it for attention. It's not all of them that are doing it in order to control you. Some of them are doing it in order to challenge you. Some of them are doing it in order to motivate you, in order for you not to sit on the fence. Now, if what they have done have benefited them and they saw results, And they are telling you because they want you to replicate the same thing that they did and even be better. Now, there is nothing wrong in it. How be it? We know that there are those who are manufacturing testimonies. We know that there are those who are telling us lies. Those who their sons can port from a toilet in France and find themselves in a toilet in Germany airport. And when they want to go back, they go through the Germany airport, the German airport, and then they port again, they teleport from the airport toilet to the one in France again. We know there are stories like that. And it's not even only pastors. See, anybody that becomes a hero in every of his story is a suspect. So what I'm trying to say here is that now, if I had gone through certain things and I made mistake and learned a lesson from it and found out that there was result, I achieved results when I did it a different way. And I am talking to people and I want them to follow suit. Now, it's not wrong. My mindset may not be that I want to control you. I just want to use my story to do what? To motivate you. Apostle Paul certainly told his experience as well. He told the story about himself, how many times he suffered, how many times he received lashes, and the book of the Acts of the Apostles also told the stories of the things that happened in the lives of the apostles. That was the stories that they told. And so many of us will read those stories today. We want to pattern our lives after the things that they did. So not everybody that tells their stories. Anybody that tells genuine story, anybody that comes out with testimonies of what the Lord has used them to achieve, to accomplish, and is telling it because they want to challenge you. They want you to be better than they are. They are not seeking attention. Those ones are okay. That is one. Secondly, now he spoke about those that are trying to control the way you wear clothes. Now it is not control. For me, for instance, I am from the assembly where they don't control you on what you wear, but they tell you the things that you should wear, how you should dress, how you ought to dress. I think this is the better word. How you ought to dress as a child of God. Not what you should wear, but how you ought to look. Now, I don't think that there is any church, I don't know if there is any church that preaches on modesty in dressing. When you get to the church and you have dressed the way you want, they will send you back. I don't know if there is any. Yeah, individuals can be that zealous. There are some who are very zealous, and in their zeal, there is no knowledge, there is no wisdom. But I want us to understand that if churches don't talk about dressing as Christians, are we not seeing what is happening today? A lot has gone wrong in the way that Christians dress, both brothers and sisters, both men and women. So, we should talk about it. We should talk about decency in dressing. But nobody is trying to regulate how you dress. It is for you to pick it. It is for you to take it. It is even worse than a pastor is not preaching about it. It's even worse that a pastor doesn't care. It's worse that a pastor tells you to dress anyhow you want to dress. Come, no problem. God doesn't care. Our God cares. God even told the people in the Bible that he doesn't want to see their nakedness. They should cover their nakedness properly. It is there in your Bible. So if the Lord our God does not want to, he hates nakedness. When Adam and Eve sinned and they were blatantly naked, it was God that sewed them clothes to cover their nakedness. So the Lord our God hates nakedness. And if we don't preach it, there are churches today also that are a church of naked people. They assemble, they come naked. They stay in the church, from the pastor to the congregation, stark naked in a church. So, but today, you see, I don't think there is anybody that comes across a naked woman and lusts after a naked woman. I mean, a naked mad woman, or a naked madman. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But now, you don't lust after them because you see that they are not normal, they are dirty, there is something wrong with them. But women who have their senses intact, but they are serving the devil with their flesh, and so they want you to see their flesh. They display their body, they display their breasts and their buttocks. They show you their laps, their navels, and they want you to see. They want their cock cleavage, their nipples, and all that. Now those are satanic, and pastors must preach against this. So this is what I'm trying to say. Churches are there, who are promoting what the devil stands for, and we must speak against them. So may God bless the pastor. May God bless the pastor. So this is where I'm ending the video now. I want you to like the video if it blesses you. Share it, and put down your comments in the comment section. And I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, from me to you, shalom.